Ideme na to. Je to tvrdé hrozné rozbaliť. Dneska dneska 25.1.2024 a začneme 21.11. Dneska sú z vybožilty 15, 15, 14, 14, 13, 13, 12, 12, 11, 11. Toľko verých z vybožiltov sa dá. A potom pokračujeme. Dáme. Ideme na to. Dáme Dudka na Barnkové odstavnili video. Dáme Dudka na...
Ja to podporujem preto, lebo my sme tu mali soft verziu justície 50. rokov. Lámanie ľudí v kolúskach. Nemožnosť doniesť notára, aby mohol overiť a dať spomocnej manželke. Nemožnosť obžalovaného zavolať manželke po úraze, čo sa stalo s Volkom. Nemožnosť mať fotku dcery. To bol najhrubší sadizmus. A o týchto veciach treba hovoriť, pokiaľ tu hrozí, že vznikne ďalšia ľudská tragédia kvôli konaniu ničím nebrzdených a ničím neregulovaných NAKY a USP, je v mene ochrany ľudského života prípustné, a toto je jeden z dôvodov, aj skrátené legislatívne konanie. Toto je základná vec. Ja to podporujem preto, lebo
So all the legendary weapons and most importantly the legendary armor, as the stats on these things are very nice. You can see their defense 400, HP 1200 on this, and the durability 11,000, and then the earlier ones like this is the best non-legendary armor you can get, and this is at 220 defense and 750 HP, and this is the best legendary. It's like pretty much double that. It's just a little bit under double that. The durability is more than double. Very good, as well as the damage comparison. I have the rocket launcher here. The legendary is 14,000 damage, insane, and the normal one is 10,000, so 4,000 damage, so that's 40% stronger, and the durability is again more than double. Very, very good. And I don't have the normal crossbow, but you guys can see this is very good stuff, very strong, and I'm going to show you which and where and what all the bosses are to actually get this. Now, I did see this earlier today from another little YouTuber. I can't remember his name, but I will leave his video linked down below, so shout out to him. Go check out his video and give him some love over there. But I found this pretty much through there because the chance of these to drop is very, very little. I've been doing this all day. As you can see, these are the only ones I've managed to get. Now there is for every single weapon, so there's the handgun. Let me just show you guys a little text document I have with all of it saved up here. So you got to kill Alpha Pals to get the legendary schematics. So Bushi gives you the crossbow. I actually got him on the first try, super lucky on the Bushi. And then the Beacon over there gives you the handgun. Blazemut gives you the assault rifle, Jet Dragon missile launcher. Suzaku gives you the pump action shotgun. Palladius and Necromus give you the cold and the heat pal armor. So obviously they give you the respective versions. And then Frost Talon gives you the pal helmet, and King Packer gives you the old bow if you're after all those. But the best thing I could really get is the missile launcher, and I found Jet Dragon a lot because I'm trying to get like the ultimate Jet Dragon to start my breeding with. So that's probably why I ended up getting the missile launcher. But the others I've done them a couple of times, and it's very, very low drop chance. Frost Talon as well, trying to get a perfect one to breed with her. So we got the pal helmet, and we got the missile launcher, and we got these over there. And the Bushi crossbow, like I said, I got really lucky. I just ran there quick to go see if it will actually work, and bam, we got it. But the other guy in his video was using a cheat engine for 100% drop chance on everything, and 100% catch chance and all that kind of stuff, and he confirmed that all of these do drop from every single one of these. So that is the list if you're looking for, so that is the list of drops. I know where everybody is for the most part. We see Frost Talon is up in the top left of the Frost ice map over there. Bushi is somewhere down here, I believe. Bushi, where's Bushi? There's Bushi right over there. So where's the starting point for you guys? So there's the starting point. This is where you enter the game. And then beat Palworld Pals, palworldtrainer.com, and they have the pals and everything. They're like updating this. As there's even a breed calculator which I've used myself. This is why I found it, because I was looking up how to do breeding and everything. And I will be doing a video pretty soon showcasing all of this stuff. But pretty much I'll leave this link down below for you guys as well. So you're looking for the boss. Who was it we were looking for? All of this stuff. But pretty much I'll leave this link down below for you guys as well. So you're looking for the boss. Who was it we were looking for?
Yo, guys, what is up? Max here with IG Palladium.
A čo je to breedovanie? A čo je to breedovanie? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows, man?
Hey guys, Oxentia here and welcome to the channel.
Finals. What the fuck knows, man? Koliko? 10 minut, ne da sam na jednu seriju, to mi već ono. Fuck! Čo pa idu? Čo pa idu? To je nič. Flaby. Ruby Gopvin. Gopvin Ignis. Kindling, Handiwork, Transporters. Nikatente zo. Gopvin Ignis. Huh. Griswold. Leespunk Ignis. To si točilo, že mať Gopvin Ignisa, to je... To je nič. Že ten baiting je nič v podstate. To je nepodstatná vec. Pre mňa momentálne. Jolda Christ. Milujú tieto. Yeah, okay. It's fine. It's fine.
How this is even legal. Isn't this just a clear case of copyright theft? Especially given the Pokemon Company's standard zero-tolerance approach to fan games, and especially given that Palworld's big draw, at least from a me perspective, is that it juxtaposes this incredibly Game Freak-esque art style with a level of violence that we don't normally explicitly see in the Pokemon world. So how then is Palworld even allowed to exist? Why is this game of all Pokemon fan games, being given a pass by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, when so many other fan games have been taken down? The answer is in how Palworld navigates the tricky waters of intellectual property. Believe it or not, the extreme violence shown in the game is actually one of the strengths that keeps Nintendo and the Pokemon Company off the game's back. First, before we get into this, a quick legal disclaimer. I am not a lawyer. This video does not constitute legal counsel. If you are making a Pokemon fan game of your own and you want to know where you stand from a legal perspective, do not use YouTube as your source of information. With that out of the way, let's talk about intellectual property law and how Palworld has managed to deal the Pokemon Company a critical hit. Right. Take this off now. Didn't fit anyway. My kids have. I've been wanting to do a video on this topic for a very, very long time now, but not found quite the right inspiration or the right moment to make it, and the release of Palworld certainly feels like that could be it. So I want to talk about how intellectual property law works. Essentially, for the purpose of this video, for the purpose of every fan game, there are three types of intellectual property that you need to be aware of. Most people think, oh, it's just copyright, and if something's infringing copyright, and that's going to cause all the problems. No, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. You've got patents, you've got trademarks, and you've got copyright. And all of them work slightly differently, and all of them protect different types of intellectual property. And the way that Palworld gets around the Pokemon Company's normally very strict, tight grip on their intellectual property is in which of these three it plays with, and how it avoids triggering the problems that would constitute a lawsuit if used in the wrong way. Let's get patents out of the way very quickly because they're not particularly relevant to what we're talking about today. Patents cover an idea, a particular type of design or a thing, something that you have thought of and that you have said, I own this idea. And in order to get a patent, you can't just have it automatically. You need to get it approved from a patent office. You need to apply, you need to pay money, and then the patent office will say, yes, your idea is significantly distinct from everything else, and indeed your idea is specific enough that we can give you a patent because it's not a general widespread thing. You can't patent, for example, the concept of walking on two legs. You can't patent, for example, the idea of trousers, or of shoes, or of different things. You can patent the specific design of the shoes. You can patent the way that the laces connect if you've got a particularly novel, unique idea for how the shoes should hold their laces, etc., etc. Where things get more relevant to Palworld are in trademarks and copyright. There's a fair amount of overlap between these two, but they are their own distinct things. You can get something which infringes on copyright but does not infringe on a trademark, and vice versa, something which infringes a trademark but does not infringe on copyright. A trademark is very simply the mark of your trade. It is the identifier, the word or the image that people associate strongly with your brand. So the Pokemon Company owns the trademark on the word Pokemon. They are the only ones that are allowed to sell a product as being part of the Pokemon brand. Meanwhile, copyright, again very simply, is the right to make a copy of something. You can't copyright an idea. That's what a patent is for. So if I read a book and I like the concept of it, I like the core principle in the middle of it, I can take that and I can use that as the basis of my own book. This happened with the book The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail by Michael Bajan, Richard Lay and Henry Lincoln. It is a theological book which puts forth the hypothesis that Jesus Christ married Mary Magdalene and had children with her. The book then was read by Dan Brown, another author who loved the general concept so much that he adapted it into his fictional work, The Da Vinci Code, and it's a central point of the story of the Da Vinci Code. The authors of The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail were not particularly pleased with this and attempted to sue Brown for using their idea in his book, but they were unsuccessful because you can't copyright an idea. To this end, the Pokemon Company does not own the right to make games about catching monsters, and indeed they shouldn't, because they were not the first people to do it. There are many examples of the genre that I've heard called Mon-likes, which I quite like that as a name, such as Shin Megami Tensei, which long predated Pokemon. Pokemon was not the first game that featured Pokemon-style gameplay. Pokemon, though, did it in a way that was wonderfully palatable to a lot of people around the world, and did it with a very distinct art style. We've seen a recent boom in indie developers taking on the Mon-like genre and interpreting it in different ways. We've had Cassette Beast, we've had Temtem, and now we've got Palworld, which does its own thing with this, even though it looks very, very similar to the Pokemon Company's game. Similar to how you can't copyright an idea within a game, you also can't copyright a gameplay mechanic, and you can't copyright an art style, and that means that all of the things that make Pokemon unique are indeed free and available for anybody to use. What the Pokemon Company can control, though, and what they can stop you doing, is releasing any game with the name Pokemon in the title, and they can stop you from using Pikachu's face or likeness. This is because the appearance of Pikachu, the character, is trademarked by the Pokemon Company. He is synonymous with the brand. When you see Pikachu, you think the Pokemon Company. Now, the Pokemon Company has some Pokemon names trademarked, and some Pokemon names are not trademarked. So, for example, Bulbasaur is trademarked, Charizard is trademarked, Scorbunny I found is trademarked. There's a wonderful list, because of how trademarks work, of everything that is currently trademarked and by which company and the address of that company. So you can very easily search for and find some of these names. At the same time, looking at the UK database of trademarks, I wasn't able to find a trademark for Cyndaquil, for Totodile, and some other Pokemon names. So some are trademarked and some are not. What's more, the appearance of these Pokemon, the specific design of these characters, aren't necessarily trademarked, but their exact design would be copyrighted. It's not an idea, but if you make a copy of the exact design as it appears in a different piece of work, you are still making a copy, even if it's not necessarily a perfect copy. To that end, one wrinkle in copyright law involves derivative works, the idea that if you just read a book and then take large chunks of the text from that book and put them into your own book, you are still infringing on copyright, even if you're not copying the entire thing across. Similarly, if you're making a picture that is based on a character that somebody else has designed, you are copying that character. No, you're not copying the idea, but you are copying the design, which is copyrighted. And if that seems complicated and confusing, and like there's a huge grey area in the middle, yep, welcome to copyright law. Like most copyright cases involve trying to puzzle out what actually constitutes a derivative work and what is just fair use, the use of a similar idea or a similar concept. Take anything that Ed Sheeran has had to do in any court case in the last year, and you've got a pretty good example. We've gone into detail in a previous video about the estate of Sherlock Holmes and how they are very on it in protecting their legal claim, what they claim to have control over, which is the idea of Sherlock Holmes being nice. Because the character of Sherlock Holmes is long since out of copyright, he is within the public domain. But the idea of Sherlock being kind only appears in some of the later works, which were under copyright for a lot longer, and the Sherlock Holmes Foundation asserts that, therefore, any work which shows Sherlock Holmes in a compassionate light is infringing on their copyright, which is obviously nonsense. But this is how copyright law works, is that people end up trying to make a bigger claim than they necessarily can hold on to. Indeed, it's that attitude of the grabbing a bit further than we can really reach and just seeing how things puzzle out in court that is a large driver of the way that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo are often a little bit over-ambitious in the way that they shut down fan projects. There are concerns that if a company doesn't...
Oh, yeah. Давайте наговорю. 10 минут плюс-мінус, 10 минут. Nič nepovedal, dobre. Do 25.1.2024 skončili sme 21:35. Skončili sme 25. Segment mal 25 minút, 25 sekúnd. Okay?